The Crypt interviews in association with Mayo Leisure Point Castle Bar.
You're listening to The Crypt, and this week's special guest on the show is Ben Dillon, who's the Managing Director of Haunted Spooktacular Horror Farm in Kells County Meath. So you're very welcome to the show, Ben.
Thank you very much, Rita.
Well, Ben, for those who've been asleep under a rock for the last few years and don't know what Haunted Spooktacular Horror Farm is, could you just give a brief explanation?
Well, this will be our 12th year running a Halloween scare attraction. And a Halloween scare attraction would be your typical, you'd see them in America, like haunted house attractions, like your asylums, this year we have the laboratory and horror mazes, and actors will be running around scaring you and going into the different scenes. So we brought it to Ireland about 12 years ago.
And I have to say, I reviewed it last year and it's so impressive. The setup you have there is absolutely amazing because there's so many sections to it. How long does it take to walk through?
So last year we averaged it on the busy nights just about an hour or a little bit more.
Yeah.
This year now with the corn maze, it should be longer. It should be over the hour now, definitely this year. But you don't know until the first night.
Well, you know, that's the thing about it, though. You really get value for money. And it's like something you'd see in the States. The actors you have are fantastic. Where do you come across these guys that you have playing these madmen?
Well, I always say they're not actually... most of them aren't professional actors, but they want to do this once a year because they're allowed to do what they love.
Yeah.
So how we'd advertise online, and we'd mostly online on Facebook, on the Film Network and our own Facebook page and my Facebook page, and that's how we get most of our staff for the event.
You mentioned there now the laboratory and the cornfield. They're new this year.
Yeah.
So what can we expect in that? I'm very interested in the cornfield.
Okay, so the cornfield, this is a brand new attraction for us, where any other year we're always like building a new attraction indoor or outdoor, but always the same type of layout, but just a different theme. So this year is totally new to us. We've never done anything like this before. It's 500 yards long, and you're going to get loads of different types of actors and creatures and darkness and long walks and creepy children in the new experience.
And you know, you mentioned the dark there. That's one of the things about it that I loved, because when you went into the log cabins at the start last year, you're in the black, and when your sight is taken away, it makes it even more terrifying. You don't know when something's going to jump out in front of you. And I dare anybody who thinks they're brave and it wouldn't scare them to go, and I tell you, they'd be screaming their heads off.
But especially with them log cabins last year, that's the ghost town this year. So there's always that little bit of light, but you don't really notice it, but it's there to guide you along. Where here in the corn maze, you only have your night vision, really.
Oh, God.
So I was walking there testing out the other day, and there's poles buried in the ground so to put fencing so you don't wander off the path.
Yeah.
And I thought one of the poles was somebody. I'm like, get away from me, who's that? So it's like the darkness and your own imagination sure plays tricks with you.
But then last year, as you said, you have something new every year, and last year you introduced Alone.
We did.
Which is, as it says, you had to go in and do it alone. You'd know your friends weren't along with you for you to hold on to. Now, you had to sign a waiver before you went in. Now, there was a lot of controversy around this, and I ended up getting called to go on the Dave Fanning show because some people had felt you went too far. Personally, I didn't. You read the waiver before you go in, you know exactly what's ahead of you. So if you sign up for it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And personally now, I have to say, I laughed the whole way through. You scream and laugh. It's a mix of fear and not being able to stop laughing at them because the actors were fantastic. So is that there again this year, and is it worse or changed? What did you do with it?
This year, we will have it this year, and as I said, you have to be over 18 to do this attraction, and it's totally optional.
Yeah.
So we are going to go ahead with this year, but we'll be down the road of more psychological rather than physical.
Yeah.
Because I think that's more traumatic to somebody more than being physically roughed around. Let's just say it'd be a lot worse.
Oh God, I'm thinking now, will I or won't I do it this year? Keep me scared now saying that.
It's what people make it out to be, you know.
Yeah.
There's only so much, you advertise it as psychologically traumatic and all that, and then people will like, oh my God, they make it actually worse than it actually is.
It's your own mind.
You know, it's your own mind deciding. It's yourself that's deciding what's this going to be. And then, you know, you do get the people saying that was the most terrifying, sickest thing I've ever done in my entire life. It's not right. And they go on to the likes of the Dave Fanning show and complain. But sure, that's great. You know, because that's what you're looking for, you know.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's what it's all about. It's a scary attraction.
That attraction doesn't even make us money, like, you know, that, you know, itself, it just covers itself, or if you probably lose a little bit of it, but that's bringing a huge amount of people to your other main attraction.
Well, that's it. And, like, it's a scare attraction, not a Care Bear attraction.
Yeah,
you know?
you're scared because you care.
But, like, that's what annoyed me last year, because people were saying, when I was on the Dave Fanning show, and people were saying that I was casualising torture and all this. But sure, it's Halloween. So is that like saying if you dress your child up as Freddy Krueger for Halloween, are you saying it's okay to be a child murderer? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's Halloween. Chill out.
Halloween. And especially with the asylum last year, we got a huge controversy over the asylum we had, saying that we're not caring for people with mental health issues and all that thing.
And that's not the case at all. Sure,
it's not the case at all. Like,
it's
you know,
horror.
what is that song? Is it Fatboy Slim? Was it the road? The lunatic? Oh, it's the lunatics have taken over the asylum. Like, why would they didn't get in trouble for writing a song like that? Why would we get in trouble for having a Halloween attraction?
Exactly, and the thing is as well, so there's so many horror movies that are about asylums, and that you're theming all your different areas against what we all know as horror. So that's all
that's what my case was.
Yeah, exactly.
My case was like about One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest.
Yeah, exactly.
the asylum in Batman, so, and nothing said.
Yeah.
So we just bring it into real life. Our logo is enter into your own personal horror movie.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it's like. It really is. And I think it's cool that it's so long as well. You're in there, because like when I went in first, you go through the first few bits and you think, oh, we're probably coming near the end now, and you're not even a quarter way into it at that stage. It's fantastic. I can't recommend it highly enough to people. We're all going back again this year because it's such an adrenaline buzz is the word for it.
You're welcome as well to come back anytime, Rita.
Oh, thank you, Ben. Well, come here. What age is this recommended for? I know Alone's over 18, but the rest of it, what age?
Yes. So we recommend it for 16 plus. We do get younger, but it's with parents' discretion.
That's it. You know your own child and you know what they'd be able for.
We do recommend it for over 16s. You can find all the information on www.hauntedspoktacular.com, and that's where you can buy tickets as well for this year's event.
Do you recommend pre-booking or can you just turn up on the night?
This year we have limited our ticket sales, so we've opened longer nights and we've nearly halved the amount of people per night. So we are selling out fast because of that. So we want to cut down the queuing time entering into the attraction. And so we highly suggest that you book online this year, otherwise you will probably not get in.
Genie, shows how popular it is. Do you have the bands again this year?
We have a band, it's different, like we have like a one-man band rather than a loud band. We have a magician, like illusionist and a magician, and it's going to be different this year, and the layout is all different from last year as well, so a total new layout actually.
Oh, brilliant. So even if you've been before, it'll be all new to you again.
Yeah, it's a different direction and it's not the same path the way around, and we have the laboratory again new this year. So we have 2 new attractions this year.
And does it take you long to set all this up, Ben?
We've been at this since May. Yeah, May, and we've been flat out now for the past 3 months getting ready.
And who is it that comes up with all the themes? Is that yourself?
All of us, like myself, my father, and my brother and sister, would come up with a plan, and then we'd all sit down and work out how is this going to work and where will it work, and then we go down on site and then plan it out.
And are you out this year with the hearse for promoting?
Not out this year in the hearse. The hearse is packed up.
He's retired.
The hearse is retired. Different plans.
Oh, God. Well, come here. Before I let you go, aside from being the horror farm, could you talk about some of the other events you hold there throughout the year? Because it's a busy spot.
Yeah, so recently we had the Meath Blues Festival. That was on September 24th. So there was huge, really good bands playing, really good music, good turnout as well. But the weather, was awful that day. But sure, that's Ireland for you. But he's holding it again next year, and it's going to be I can see it being a really big festival in years to come. On August we had the big Viking Festival.
That's massive.
The Viking Picnic, and Jerry Fish on the Electric Sideshow headlined it.
Excellent.
So good crowd turned up, and that was all for Avian's Pink Tide, the charity. So that worked well, and I can see that being bigger again next year.
It's a great venue for anybody who'd want to hold a festival.
Yeah, festivals. Yeah, it's because we have the village, you see, so they can retheme it. So they had the Viking village there, so it's all built out of log cabins, and we had a saloon, a bar there, and rethemed it for the blues festival. So it was real blues, like real Mississippi themes down there. So
I can imagine it.
We have a stage there now this year, and it's good times ahead.
Good times ahead. Well, fair play to you, because you're doing great work down there. Well, for those tuned in, we are giving away tickets to go to Haunted Spooktacular Horror Farm. So if you head on over to the Crypt's Facebook page, all the details of the competition are there. So thanks so much, Ben, for coming on the show, and I can't wait to see you at the end of the month.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
The Crypt interviews in association with Mayo Leisure Point Castle Bar.